Hey everyone, this is April, and welcome back to a new episode of My Solo Chronicles. Today I'm continuing my conversation with Wells Jones as he continues to share his adventures in solo traveling. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it.
And traveling that's where you really, for me, is where I've seen humanity. I mean, getting on that bus and seeing people outside the bus. I mean, I literally was thinking, these are the people I'm spending the summer with.
Yeah.
You didn't know anyone.
Wow.
And Jim, he became my brother-in-law, said, "This looks real exciting."
Yeah, exactly.
You have a great summer. I'll see you when you get back.
Wow.
And it's like, okay. And my brother Kim was with him.
Okay.
And Kim, hey, this really looks cool.
Right.
This looks cool.
Wow.
Look at those people. So many kinds of people.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to take this bus to Montana? Yeah, I think it's 2 days.
Wow. The Greyhound bus on top of that.
The Greyhound bus.
Exactly.
And so I listened to my mom on that, and it really made sense.
Yeah.
And then I remember as a senior at the beginning of the year, I was elected senior class president.
Okay.
I was surprised because I was surprised.
That's a good way to put it. I was surprised I was elected.
I was surprised. And one of the first order of business for the seniors at that time, and that was a long time ago, they said everyone needs to have their class motto because we're going to do our yearbook, the senior yearbook.
Okay.
And we set up all the different groups. That was the first meeting in class. Who's going to do this? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do this and this?
Right.
And I had seen before this because I knew about having a class motto.
Okay.
And the motto that I had as an individual.
Okay.
Everybody had their own motto.
Okay.
I had one man with courage makes a majority. When I saw that, I couldn't believe it. I said, one man with courage. It's like, that says it.
Yeah.
And at that time, at 17 years old, I was thinking one thing, and since I've thought of it in a bigger frame. But at the moment, it was about me being a person with courage, can make a majority, can influence a majority.
Wow.
You start reading about Martin Luther King, you start reading about Gandhi, you start reading about people, Florence Nightingale, people that stood up, spoke for different things.
That's true.
And you realize it's an individual that ended up with a mastermind of other people working with them to alter a wrong, struggle to it, and I just loved it. And in the end, the class voted that as the class motto.
Wow.
One man makes majority. So that was over our heads. There's 31 people on a stage, a little gym, and above our head, it's almost like, elementary school, but somebody painted out one man with courage makes a majority. It wasn't formal. It was big enough so that the audience could see.
Okay. And that's a great motto. That is an awesome motto.
I think so too. And I've tried to find who actually, someone said Thomas Jefferson, and then someone said no. And I couldn't figure out who actually that quote was from.
Right.
But then another quote that came up to me that resonated in the same way is Churchill. And it happened around the same time.
I love Churchill. Oh my gosh. Yes.
This I'm going to read, okay? So I get his exact words. I mean, I could recite it, but I want to go. This is Churchill. To each there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing, unique to them and fitted to their talents.
Wow.
What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for that which could have been their finest hour.
Wow.
And that hit me.
Yeah.
Tapped on the shoulder, being ready, fitted, something that will come along. It's the universe. If you live in the moment, engage fully,
right,
then the next moment you'll be led.
Wow, that is awesome.
And I have been tapped for everything that I've done, even in the last few weeks.
Right.
I've been tapped. I mean, I had a sense that it was coming.
Okay.
Again, and each tap
okay,
has been an expansion of more.
Right.
More influence, more. And it's always involved travel.
Yeah.
It's always involved, and for me, that whole concept of one man with courage, it's like you have to have courage.
Right.
I went from being in Antarctica on a parachuting rescue team.
Okay.
I had no idea I was going to be on a parachuting rescue team.
Right.
I had no idea. I joined the Navy to get out of Vermont.
Right.
I graduated from high school.
Right.
I did visit Charles numerous times. Charles came to Vermont.
Right.
And, I mean, there were no individuals with dark skin.
Yeah.
In the area.
Wow. Yeah.
And Charles had a fro.
Yeah.
And he wore knee-high boots, lace-up boots.
Yeah.
He had a Gucci pack that he wore.
Okay.
And he was one sophisticated, cool guy.
Wow.
And when people see him, even my older sisters is going, he is so beautiful. What guy? Where is he going? He's in school. He's going to go to Sarah Lawrence. So he went to Sarah Lawrence.
Right.
And so I decided to go into service. And then even when I got my orders,
okay,
I went through my special training for my rate.
Okay.
And I was a yeoman. I was going to be working in admin, working in the commanding officer's office somewhere in the world.
Right.
Somewhere. Who knew?
Right.
You don't ask for a place, they give it to you.
Right. You don't have a choice.
Guys were like the two men that were running this course, and we were at a very end, and they were giving our orders out.
Okay.
And they're, Diaz, you're going to go here. And Smith, blah, 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 you're going there.
Right.
Jones. Good God. No way. That's what he said.
He
And then
said good guys.
The guy goes, and they looked at each other. Teach. And I'm out there going, what? What? And then they turn it upside down and put it on the table. They didn't tell me.
Oh my gosh.
List is gone, and they picked up Jones. Jones, you're going to one of the most beautiful places in the world. Christchurch, New Zealand. You're going to be working with the National Science Foundation, flying planes and helicopters around Antarctica.
Oh my God. No wonder they flipped the paper.
My head, when they said, Chi-Chi, that stands for Christchurch. It's a gorgeous place, son.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So we had a staging base in California in the United States.
Okay.
Then going to Christchurch, New Zealand in October.
Okay. Was
the staging base to fly planes to McMurdo, Antarctica, also known as the ice.
Okay.
It's done every year. It's been doing it since 1957 or between October and February.
Okay.
That's when the sun's up 24/7.
Okay.
It works its way up in the zenith up high.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
At any rate, I was in the enlisted men clubs after I checked into this organization. Okay. Again, going into the service was so unknown. I knew certain things, but it's traveling on buses, on trains, on planes, and being told to go someplace and then dealing. It was solo. Yes, someone else paid for it, and there was a mission behind it.
Right.
Still so many unknowns. Still dealing with what am I leaving behind?
Right.
Is everything in order?
Right.
What do I take? Meeting the deadlines, meeting the schedule, being on time,
right.
being conscious,
right.
showing up.
That part,
so
showing up.
I was in the enlisted men's club. I think it was probably this. I arrived one day at Point Magoo, and then it was the next night. Someone said, "Oh, do you know where I was learning my way around."
Okay.
They said, "Come, we can have a beer. It's 2% beer." I said, "2% beer."
I don't even drink, but would that make you drunk? That's like drinking water.
No, and I'm not a beer. I'm not. I have been, but I'm not. But 2% beer. I said the same thing. Yeah, that's all they'll allow anyone under 21 here.
Oh.
In New York City, I had Manhattans when I was 15 with Charles Lewis. He knew right where to go.
Thanks, Charles.
I said, "Well, I think I'll have a Manhattan." I mean, like, it's 16 years old, sitting there, and I'll have a Manhattan, please. It's learning.
Exactly.
So a guy sitting across from me, he said, "You're new." And I said, I am. I just got here yesterday. Okay. I said, "What's that on your chest there?" He said, "Parachute wings." Parachute wings? Yeah. I'm a member of the Antarctic parachute rescue team.
Wow.
The Antarctic parachute? Where's that? Right. He said, "Part of our squadron."
Wow.
He said, "Are you interested?" I said, "Oh, yeah. Definitely. What do I need to do?" Well, what? 6 months later, after training, it was all focused on parachute rescue, which was skydiving, free falling, doing precision jumps, landing on targets, and medical training, mountaineering training.
Okay. When I read your bio, that was the first thing that I saw, and I said, of course he would be that. I mean, your background is just, you're like adventurous. So it's just like no surprise there. So
it started, I had some nice things when I was growing up. I did ski growing up. I'm very proficient. I didn't compete. I had friends that were A racers in the Northeast, and that's a division it's very competitive, especially in the Northeast, because we don't have the altitude for the wonderful snow you get in Colorado or
that's true.
In California and the big mountains. You get up to 12,000.
Right.
We're less than 4,000 feet high, and we're skiing on ice all the time, which is awesome. How to manage. So many lessons learned, and going, back to my youth. My mom saying we need a door on the side of the barn.
Okay.
I'm a little bit older. I'm like 13, 14.
Okay.
And she says, "I think you can build one."
Wow.
What do you think? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, "Okay, take these nails." And she handed me a U-Bahn coffee tin with bent nails in it. She said, "Take these nails and straighten them. And when you're through using these, we'll see about getting more."
Wow.
I said, "Okay, Mom."
It's almost as though I love your mom because she knew your potential. At that age, you didn't know what you can do. She was helping you tap into that inner strength that she knew you had to do anything and everything. I mean, because let somebody tell me, okay, unbend these nails. I'll be like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But if you look at it in hindsight, it was pretty much setting you up for things that were going to come down the pipeline in your life as you got older. That's kind of how I looked at it. Yeah.
Figuring things out.
Yeah.
But when I look at that now, I tell you, it wasn't like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I was going, this is crazy. This horseshoe, I knew what a horseshoe nail was. I mean, to get a horseshoe packed in the hoof of a horse We had horses that we were, crazy. My brother said, they're my horses. Feed them then, okay? Just feed them, you know.
Right. You take care of them.
But you know, going out and getting a timber that's chestnut, it's very hard. And I'm thinking, you know, how am I going to bend these nails straight?
Yeah.
And then realizing you've got to get, you know, I went to the chicken coop that was totally demolished because of many, many, many years that it hadn't been used.
Right.
And found flagstone and just one at a time. Right. And then spreading them in different piles.
Okay.
Little nails, bigger, you know, 4 penny that I learned later, 16 nails, the big ones, spikes. Mm-hmm. And the horseshoe, and I found out it's really hard. How am I going to use a horseshoe nail?
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, I did build the door, and in the end, it was so freaking heavy.
Right.
It was almost 8 feet tall. I started with a 4 by 8 foot piece of plywood, thick.
Right.
Worked from that, and I went around the barn. I looked at the other things. Went to other places.
Right.
Thinking, how do this? And I drew sketches, and I was going, you got cross pieces to hold it together.
Right.
And now, man, I need hinges. How am I going to do this?
Yeah.
You know? And then finding in this barn that was just a magical place. It was 5 layers. It was a hay barn.
Okay.
It was just magical as a kid.
Okay.
Play hide and seek.
Right.
People come over and play hide and seek.
Yeah.
They'd never find us.
Wow.
Scare the heck out of us.
Yeah.
So that was learning adaptability, and all these things have just been carried forward. That sense of get through where you are. And it's not like get through to get through,
right?
But do it in a style and in a manner where you really are recognizing this is hard.
Oh, yeah.
This is easy, or this, you know, and get through it and figure it out.
Right.
And, you know, you think of Thomas Edison, you think of the people, even T.E. Lawrence, who was one of my icons. You think of these people as young people. What were they doing that allowed them to become this, you know, iconic thing?
Right.
And it's not that I am, but I have learned from these people.
Yeah.
And so the military service was phenomenal. I was do a free fall at the South Pole in 1977.
Wow.
I'm number 7 in the lineup. There were 5 of us that jumped that day. Okay. And I happened to be the first one out, and then there were 6 people before me over the years. Okay. Jumped at the South Pole after 1977 until 1997. And it was not it was a tragedy. There were 6 jumpers. Okay. That flew to the South Pole. Okay. And 3 passed on in their free fall.
Oh my gosh. And
I say that in honor of them, but also in honor of Antarctica in the extreme. When we jumped, it was minus 59 degrees. And that is extreme cold.
Extremely cold, yes.
Extreme, and you're falling at 120 miles. Well, we probably didn't reach terminal velocity. I had about a 7-8 second delay before I popped my parachute. Okay. So seeing these, learning from other people, their lessons, their success, their mistakes, in very practical terms, climbing mountains, going in and out of crevasses, it's rescue. So the whole point is the purpose and the intention to assist.
But when you said having a purpose and helping people in need, how did you get involved in Seeds of Peace?
Seeds of Peace. Yeah. Well, we found Seeds of Peace when much, much later after this is back in 2005. Okay. Miles and I had not seen each other for a while. We'd done business together. We'd done adventures with purpose together. Okay. And Seeds of Peace, and the Inventors for Purpose. We inspired people to raise money for a cause, be able to do an activity like kayak across Long Island Sound, raise money, and then we would take that money and put it back into a party for the people that raised the money, and then give a lot to charity. And with the kayaks, we have a Guinness record of 313 kayaks.
I read that. That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
So the model is the same model we used to do our trek in the Middle East, which was a journey we ended up taking in 2006. But 2005 is when we started working on it and recognized we wanted to get a better understanding of what's going on in the Middle East. I had been 4 years in D.C. I had been working with people that were very high in the political spectrum. The chairman of the board of my foundation when I was hired was Alma Powell, Colin Powell's wife.
Oh, wow.
And so the reason I was the chief operating officer was because of the work I had been doing for their fundraising events. I went from parachuting rescue into acting, doing well in acting, but not being able to feed my family.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, I did well, but I was kind of solo for a while.
Yeah.
So my wife and I formed a production company, and we worked with nonprofits that had moral and ethical values that they were promoting. That's what we got behind. So I've always been involved with adventures, whether it's acting, producing events, and I've done many, many events. Directed at the Kennedy Center, directed at Lincoln Center, directed in Orchestra Hall. Been around. We decided after meeting up again, Miles and I, he's my best friend.
Before you even continue, I'm going to plug your book because I loved it. So Wells and his co-author, Miles Spencer, wrote a book called Lines in the Sand, which is amazing. I'm going to try not to give out any spoilers. Have you ever seen, it's a thriller, but it has historical points in it too. It's an amazing book. So if anybody's looking for a good read.
Right. A Line in the Sand.
A Line in the Sand. I'm sorry. A Line in the Sand. Yeah. Amazing book. It's almost like there was a part that I instantly thought about if you ever seen the Da Vinci Code. Because I'm not gonna say anything, but not to spoil anything. But there was something that two main characters, Magnus and Finn, they were searching for something. I'm just gonna say that part. And the way the story shaped was amazing. So anybody looking for a good read, get that book. Okay, you can continue.
Thank you. Well, that's interesting because that book is based on what the idea that we came up with in 2005 and came out of what is going on in the Middle East. And I saw Miles as the 4th of July in 2005. And he said, we talked a little bit about it because he knew I was close to the Powells. I was close to a number of people, former Secretary of Education and drug czar, many people. My board for the foundation that I was running, 3 of the people were cabinet secretary wives. That is during George W.'s first term. Yes, so it's right after 9/11. And I mean, we arrived in the Chevy Chase, Maryland, at our house. The Friday before 9/11. Many, many stories there. Because my boss, I mean, when I came in on the when I was already in the office on that Tuesday. And, she was on the phone with Alma saying, "Where's Colin?" This is after the first plane. What's going on? Where's Colin? where so-and-so, and I won't get into all the names. I'll do Powell's.
Okay.
They've passed on. Both Alma and Colin have passed on. God bless them. And they were very instrumental with the organization in our fundraising. Okay. I mean, I had Colin Powell in a leather jacket. On the back, there were 5 men, but Colin was in a leather jacket. On the back of it said "Heartthrob," and he's wearing a t-shirt, white t-shirt, jeans, and loafers, no socks. And I gave him a comb. And I said, he goes by Collie to his friends. Collie.
Yeah.
I said, do you have a comb? He said, no. And I said, well, here, when you go up there, do a little comb through like this. Because the event was called, do you remember when Rock was young?
Yeah.
And I said, now, we've got you lip syncing to Marvin Gaye's "How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You." Did I love it? I'm good. He said, so you want me to, before I said, before you sing, people are like, you step forward and everyone's going, ah.
Yeah.
And then you do a thing and then you hear that music. How sweet it is to be loved by you.
Oh my God. And it's so hard to see him doing that, because every time you've seen him on television, he was always straight business. It was almost like you see him and it's like, does he know how to relax?
Oh my goodness. Does he know how to relax? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He's a funny man. He's a very engaging man. He's very social. He's very, also the situation that he was in.
Okay.
And the whole team, cabinet and the president, vice president, and all those people with the war.
Okay.
Was intense.
That's true.
Yeah. It was Afghanistan.
Yeah.
It was so many lives being lost, so many, lives being taken.
That's true.
It was, so it's 2005. Miles knows that I've been in direct contact with the leaders that are part of this.
Okay.
And he said, what do you think about the war? I said, well, it's gone from mission accomplished with President Bush flying on an aircraft carrier and great big band, mission accomplished. And he gets up and he says, we're done. We're good. And of course we were not. That was a year and a half before.
Yeah.
That was in 2003.
Right.
And now it was weapons of mass destruction. Yeah. Weapons of mass destruction. It was huge.
Right.
He said, do you know anything about T.E. Lawrence? I said, yes, I do. Right. I was going to do a one-man show on T.E. Lawrence.
Okay.
Leading up to Siege of Peace. You're asking about Siege of Peace. He said, we need to do a show. You can play Lawrence. I said, no, I can't. What do you mean you can't play Lawrence? Peter O'Toole, you come on.
You said, no, I can't.
And I said, T.E. Lawrence was 5'5.5" Miles. He was a short man that did unbelievable things.
Yeah.
He wasn't 6'3", bred, blue eyes, blonde, no.
Yeah.
He said, get a bigger chair for the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, Miles, that's nuts. We ended up meeting a Broadway producer who presented the idea of getting a play written about T.E. Lawrence to bring an understanding about the Middle East, because the research that we had done was instrumental in one way bridging a gap between the East and West with the Arabs. But in the end, the promises that were made to the Arabs if they fought the Ottoman Empire, the Turks and the Germans, along with the Americans and Britain with the British, that they would get their independence. It didn't happen.
Right.
Other things were put in place. The Balfour Declaration created a homeland for the Zionist Jews in Palestine, in Israel. It became Israel and Palestine. Yeah. And then the Sykes-Picot Agreement divided the Ottoman Empire up in ways that didn't make sense for the people that lived there.
Yeah.
They were cutting people off
Yeah.
from wells, from water,
Right.
something as simple as water.
Right. See you in the next episode, my moonbeams, as I continue my discussion with author Wells Jones. As I always say, have a great rest of the day. Bye.